back a shot of that soon, but those are some clouds left behind by some interceptors that just blew up a whole bunch of incoming complaint cylinders from our disgusting neighbors known as Hezbollah, who live and operate north of here. Let's see if I can get you a shot of that. Pardon the wires that are in the way. I don't know if you can see that, but maybe you can. I don't know if you can see that or not, but that's some of the residue clouds. I'm guessing you probably can't see those very clearly. Those are over in northern Israel at the moment. And, they just happened seconds ago as I was loading up this live stream to talk to you quickly about the situation in the Middle East, since apparently I'm getting an increasing number of people who are interested in that topic. Why you guys don't want to hear me talk about Bitcoin or trading or marketing, I don't know. I have a lot to say about wine. I have a lot to say about software. I have a lot to say about a lot of things. Technology development, software development. Oh, I hear more booms now. I don't know if you guys are going to hear that. But anyway, since you're interested in the war topic, it seems, I guess that's natural. What is something that is happening that is very big and very relevant? Well, apart from obviously the tit for tat that is happening between Iran and Israel, is the fact that, oh, there you go. There's I don't know if you see that. I'll try to get that in focus for you. I see plume of smoke up there. There's those clouds. I don't know if you can see you probably can't see the clouds, but there's a plume of smoke in that vicinity. Where's my pointing finger? Right there over that bush. Right there, there's a little plume of smoke. And over there are a bunch of over in that direction, there's a bunch of clouds, puffs of smoke from the latest round of fire. So there's definitely, oh yeah, boy, that's, yeah, something definitely got hit over there. That is for sure. Something got hit. I don't know if you can see that, but there is definitely right there, a lot of smoke coming out from something that got hit. Some kind of missile probably crashed on the ground. Hopefully no one got hurt. That is it's definitely a hit on something. I tell you folks, living in war, living under fire, there's no glory, there's no greatness in it. Anybody tells you, oh, there's glory in war. No, there isn't. Okay, nobody with a sane mind would think that. If you ever lived in a situation where there's real live gunfire, or missiles, or rockets, or drones, or mortars, or any other kind of things that go boom, complaint cylinders, it's not fun, it's not great, it's not glorious, nothing wonderful about it. Unfortunately, sometimes it is necessary when you need to defend yourself against attacks like that. And again, I am in a place where we are literally defending ourselves, because if the people that were hurling these things at us would just stop, we would have no need to respond in kind. And you can say, well, why do you need to respond in kind? It's called self-preservation. It's called self-defense. It is a natural, instinctive reaction to being attacked. Hey, don't you worry, Israel is strong. You're damn right, Israel is strong, 100%. It still isn't fun to live under fire. Something I have myself and my fellow people here in Israel have done for too many years. But as strong as we are, it doesn't mean that it's a fun activity. War sucks. I just want to. It is probably the dumbest human activity. Unfortunately, sometimes, like I said, it's necessary. We need to root out evil, and it is evil that is attacking us for the fact that we exist. That's their entire ambition, is to destroy us, and their motivation is because we exist. So it is completely nuts. That's how it is, but that is how it is. What is a bigger issue happening right now that is affecting this whole situation? Well, the Strait of Hormuz, okay, and the Bab el Mandab as well. If you don't know what those things are, you should look them up on a map. The Strait of Hormuz is the narrow little crossing area between the tip of Oman and Iran, where a huge percentage of the world's oil and natural gas ship through. And without that shipping being open and free, it would cause billions of dollars a day just in oil revenue problems. And of course, the lack of energy delivered, mainly to China and other places in Asia. And of course, more in liquefied natural gas as well. So it is a major political and economic and military concern that affects many countries, including the exporters of said oil, Iran, Oman, Saudi Arabia, etc., all around there, as well as the exporters of natural gas from that region in the Persian Gulf. And the Bab el Mandab is the straight little narrow water passageway at the southern tip of the Red Sea, which is under regular attack by the people in Yemen who call themselves the Houthis, who are also backed by Iran and have made a habit of attacking ships going through there, especially if they are in any way Israeli or connected to Israel, including if they're just delivering things to Israel, even if they're not from Israel, or even if the owners of the ship are only 1% Israeli, or, if, anything. It's ridiculous. If the crew has an Israeli on it and they consider it an Israeli ship, it's just ridiculous. Basically, they're attacking anything and everything that goes through there that they feel like attacking. They even stupidly attacked a Russian ship that was bringing things to China, right? And why do I say stupidly? Because Russia sells things to Iran and buys things from Iran. They have trade, and Iran funds the Houthis. So, in a kind of a roundabout way, the Houthis were literally harming their own intentions because they're idiots like that. And so that was. Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Hello. So the Houthis were literally harming themselves when they attacked that Russian ship going through the Bab el Mandab. Ironically, the Bab el Mandab means what? The gate of grief in Arabic. You bet. A lot of grief has been going on there. All right. So the shipping of oil and gas and other goods through these straits are increasingly of consequence and are increasingly affecting how these conflicts between Israel and the terrorists in Hamas and the terrorists in Hezbollah and the Houthis terrorists and the other Islamist terrorists in Syria and Iraq and their puppet masters, the grand terrorist chiefs in Iran, are all operating and conducting their conflict. It is not by accident, right, that we see that what's going on between Israel and these 7 different fronts against it is happening the way that it is, because literally these shipping lanes are some of the most important in the world when it comes to delivering the energy that the world needs to operate. And if that is threatened and destabilized, you can be sure that the United States and other allies, including Israel, but also including Saudi Arabia and including many other countries, would have a major interest, including China, by the way. Like I said, China is the first quote-unquote victim that would be harmed by something like Iran blocking the Strait of Hormuz. They would all be piling on pressure against Iran, which is another reason that it does not want an open, full frontal war against Israel, because it simply cannot afford it. Right? If it were to cause something like blocking the Strait of Hormuz, or if it were to try to attack Israel directly in a much larger scale than it already has, then it knows that its oil energy industry would be severely under threat. And the likelihood of them losing significant amounts of their revenue, because most of their revenue comes from oil, would be massively threatened. And given all the sanctions that they face in the world on everything else, they can't exactly afford to lose more sources of revenue right now. If only. I am from, well, I'm American, but I'm in Israel at the moment. I'm also other things. Anyway, so just to give you a bit of a heads up, that is where the situation is at the moment. Hopefully we'll see calmer days, less rockets, less missiles, less nonsense above our heads. And yeah, that is what's going on here on the ground in northern Israel at the moment. Hopefully we'll have more peaceful things to report to you in the near future. But for now, it seems to be the case that we are going to see more of the kind of nonsense that we've seen until now. And again, a lot of it has to do with the energy. Don't be fooled. Like, yes, there were a lot of other reasons that, for example, Hamas attacked Israel a year ago. And that reason was because they didn't want to be sidelined and made irrelevant if and when Saudi Arabia would make peace with Israel, which was very much something that was being talked about back then. And of course was a big mistake to be talking about it, because every single time that any word of a potential peace is leaked between Israel and any of its neighbors that it currently is not at peace with, technically, some terrorist group does something to derail it. It's such an obvious thing, which is why when Benjamin Netanyahu at the UN spoke in 2023 and announced that there was going to be probably a peace treaty between Israel and Saudi Arabia, it was honestly an incredibly stupid thing for him to do. And it was stupid for anybody else who had mentioned it. Because time and time again, this happens. But Israel is not doing nearly enough humanitarian stuff. I don't know what you mean by that. Israel has increased the supply of humanitarian aid going into Gaza by more than 80% over what it had been distributing before October 7th. Yes, there was a 2-week period. 2 weeks. It was a 2-week period in early October, late September, early October, when they made entry into Gaza a little bit more bureaucratic. That 2-week period ended already more than a week ago. There is no humanitarian aid situation in that sense, yes, there is, of course, a humanitarian aid situation in the sense that people are suffering in Gaza a lot. From what? From the fact that Hamas is not stopping this war. All they have to do is surrender and release the hostages, and this war ends. They could do it right now. It would be over right now. So who's to blame for the humanitarian situation in Gaza? 100% Hamas. 100%. And I will take on anybody in the debate about that issue. Am Yisrael Chai, you bet, man. Am Yisrael Chai, indeed. The people of Israel live. And what's happening in Gaza is terrible. I agree 100% in the sense of innocent people are dying. Well, innocent people die in war. Like, you see the ordnance flying over where I am. It's not, people get harmed, people get killed. It's terrible. Does that mean that Israel should just stop going after the guys who started this war and swore that they would continue to do it nonstop unless they're completely defeated? No, it doesn't. It means that Israel has to win this war if it wants to survive and not keep getting attacked continually by these same insane idiots, these jihadi whacknuts, these crackpots who believe in their insane ideology of supremacy and all this crazy stuff with their, you don't believe in my God, therefore I kill you, or you're my slave. They're crazy, okay? Anyway, I'll get into that discussion a little bit more later on. They brought this up on themselves. I don't know who, Hamas brought this up on themselves 100%. And so too have all of the other proxies of Iran. And if Iran, is not stopped, and if it isn't brought to heel, literally, we're just going to see more conflict and devastation, and that's something that I would like to see avoided. Anyway, peace to everybody. Shalom. Goodbye. See you later. Happy days ahead. Cheers. Oh, yeah, and also, if you think this is at all interesting, please, do the social things, right? The like, the comment, the subscribe, all that stuff. Anyway, cheers, guys. See ya.